Sandra, welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the content as we go along. If you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this beautiful book, Asexual Perspectives, 47 asexual real life stories, love and sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. Yep, you can see there's tons and tons of asexuals I've interviewed around the globe for this book and across the asexual spectrum. Also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. Well, welcome to tonight's episode. In tonight's episode, I want to talk to you about something very, very serious, and this is how can you be scammed on an asexual dating app or asexual dating site. So I have met someone on ASAP, a guy, young guy, and we got talking, and I told him after I'd had some encounters with some fake people, I told him to be aware there are fake people. So ASAP, if you didn't already know, is an app that looks like a cake that you can download to your phone, Android or iPhone. It's an asexual dating app for asexuals, and it also is like a social networking app as well. Obviously there are asexual dating sites. I'm also on like asexuality.com and ace-book.net, right? So all these are for asexuals, but not everyone on them is actually asexual. So this person who I was talking to on ASAP, you know, they're new to asexuality, they're new to the app, and I just wanted to warn them that not everyone is honest. And I've experienced this firsthand very recently this week as well. And so, you know, I don't think it means you should stop being on the app or dating sites, because, you know, you're always going to get some scammers wherever you go. The important thing is you know what to look for and how they do these scams. And this guy said to me, who I was messaging, he said, well, how would they scam you on this app? You know, he didn't understand. And do you mean that they create fake profiles, or they're not really asexual, they're being fake in that way? So let me make it perfectly clear. You get both types of people. You get people who are creating fake accounts, and you get people who are not being genuinely asexual. You know, they're not really asexual. You get them faking about being asexual, or creating a profile where they're not actually being, maybe they're not actually being fake. You know, some of them might just put confused on there, right? So they're not actually being fake 100%, but they are saying they're confused, and that could mean they're confused about asexuality. So it's not like they're being fake, but some of them do create genuinely, I'm faking the same sentence doesn't go, does it? But they are creating fake profiles. You know, they use someone else's picture, or they Photoshop their own, or they use a picture, you know, like they've grabbed off the internet somewhere, you know, and they use details about each in themselves that aren't true. I mean, I've known one guy on ASAP. He's got about 3 or 4 different profiles, and he just changes all the wording all the time to what he's interested in, what job he does, where he lives. You know, so you know he's not being genuine. And there are people on there that are literally creating fake accounts that are specifically sexual, you know, and they're just out for a good time, basically. There's one I even found on there the other day. It said, oh, I'm up for having a good time, basically, like having sex. So this is one person, like, for example, who is fake, and this is how they do it. So I mentioned this person before to you. So I said, what business are you in? Because they said they're a businessman, and they said they're into supplying of building equipment, honey. Well, whenever someone starts saying honey straight away, they're being a bit fresh with you like that. It's kind of a little bit like, okay, you don't know me, so why are you calling me honey? And then I put, is that for commercial residential properties, right? And as soon as I said that to him, he launches in to talking about money and me contacting him off the app. So usually when someone is really trying to scam you, for example, in terms of money, they will try and get you off this asexual app. They will try and get you off asexual dating sites and try to get you to connect with them via email or some other method off the Apple dating site itself. And they will then try and, you know, a lot of the time they will try, you know, a lot of the time they can ask you for money directly, or they will try and give you money. because in order to give you money, they need your bank account details, and that is so they can scam you out of money. But if they've at all come across anything in your profile through talking to you where it means you're financially hard up, you're like, say you suffered depression and you were off work sick, right? Say you suffered depression, you weren't very well, you're off work sick, you hadn't got very good financial circumstances. You could meet someone online that, like, they start talking to you, they're aware that that's a vulnerability you have, and then they start saying, oh, well, I can give you some money, I really care about you, I really love you, I can give you some money, I'm quite happy to do that, I do this job, that job, which I probably don't even do. And so that's the way they can scam you, because they'll then start saying, I can put some money in your account, it's all right, especially if they try to get into a relationship with you really quickly. They try to get into a relationship with you really quick. They try to pull on your emotional heartstrings. They try to be the exact person you wish that your ideal person was, and they get into your emotions, right? They find out your weaknesses. And like I said, if you do stuff with mental health, which a lot of my asexual friends do, and you're not working, for example, money can be tight, can't it? And if you've got this person who just all of a sudden comes into your life and they start getting on really well with you, start being really nice to you, and then they start saying stuff like, well, I don't mind helping out, like if we're going to be into a relationship together, it's all about sharing, isn't it, and caring and giving, and I'm quite happy to give you like $500 or $1,000, just connect with me like on Gmail, or and I can put money in your account, just send me your account number. And this is how they scam you. So I'm glad that a viewer who is on ASAP asked me this question, because it's really important that I explain exactly how they do the scam. So for example, with this guy on ASAP, he put, my name is John, I'm a good man with heart of gold. Your profile got me attracted to you. I mean, I've already messaged this guy before, and this is just copy and paste textbook stuff. So he's just doing this to a lot of people on this app, right? Because you can tell by the way it is, it's so staged, right? Your profile got me attracted to you, and I'm ready to spoil you with attractive allowance, stating with $800. Contact me on this phone number. This is like kick. This is my kick. Thanks, honey. I can't wait to hear from you. I mean, that is just scam, 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 scam all over it. One is he can't even speak properly, if you notice. It's not even proper English. Two is it's textbook. He's just literally copied and pasted it somewhere, because I've spoken to him before and he's acting on, messaged him myself, and he's acting, and he hasn't replied to my last message, which says is that for commercial residential properties, when it's to do with building equipment. That's what he said, he's supplying building equipment, and all he's come back with is that. It's just literally copied and pasted, it's literally, he's just got it on, I don't know where he's even got this from. He's, it's like copy and paste stuff. It's just like, you can't even, like when he say, oh, with heart of gold, your profile got me attracted to you. I was the one who messaged him first, not him, me. So it's just codswallop, because I actually thought, I wonder if he's genuine or not. And sometimes I test these people out, because it's my job, really, I feel like, to protect asexuals to a certain extent. I mean, it's not my theory, like in reality. I mean, everyone's, like, responsible for themselves, but I feel I have a duty of care to you guys as someone who cares about you, to let you know about this stuff that goes on. Safety is of the utmost importance. And I know two people on Asexuality, which is an asexual dating site that got scammed, right? One woman, she got into an online relationship, she went over and moved countries for the person. And when she got there, all he wanted was someone to look after the kids and give him money. That was it. It wasn't who she thought he was. And she's now having, well, this was a few months ago, she's now having, or back then, I don't even know she's moved, to move all the way back to her country that she was originally from. So she up sticks for a con artist, right? This other guy on Asexuality, right? He met this woman online. And he didn't leave his country to move. He left his country just for a holiday to meet this person, which I would always recommend. I do not recommend any way, shape or form you just literally going up sticks and move without first visiting the person and the country. I just think that's completely insane, if I'm honest. And there might be people that totally disagree with me, but I don't care. I think for safety, you owe it to yourself to at least go and visit the country, go and visit the person, see if you get along with the person, see if you get along with the country, right? You need to have plan, you know? What if you go and move over there and you end up with a blooming lunatic on your hands, which I've been private messaged by someone and they went out to another country and the person was mentally insane. I mean, properly mentally insane, right? So you've got to be really, really careful. I'm not talking about mental health in general. I'm talking about the stuff he was saying is pure insanity, right? So you know, it's vital that you go and actually, you know, like video chat with a person at least before you meet up with them. You know, if they can't video chat with you, fine, they're not for you. If you're not worth them getting the software for, getting a camera for, getting, you know, like the latest phones, they can actually message you via video chat. If you're not worth that to them, then they are not worth you going to another country for. I'm telling you that now. Being serious, right? I'm being deadly serious. If they're not prepared to put themselves out for you like that when you're thinking about going over to another country, don't do it. Right? We live in this modern world, right? Grannies of 80 years old are learning how to use the internet. I had someone on one of my courses when I used to teach for the recovery learning community. I used to teach people with mental health difficulties how to recover from mental ill health using social media, blogging, Facebook and Twitter. And this blogging course, you know, there's this person come on and, you know, like some people like are in their 80s, 70s or 80s and they can use the internet. They can create a blog post, you know. It's, you know, if someone's saying I'm too old, I don't know how to do it, fine, they might not know how to do it because they might not have learned, but they can learn if they're not prepared to learn that for you. And learn, or go, you know, you can Google it, you can go on YouTube and Google videos like how do I video chat with someone, and you'll probably see hundreds of videos come up, right? It's not difficult. You go on Facebook, type in Facebook search, how do I video chat via Facebook Messenger? And you should get the details come up on Facebook, which tells you how to use Facebook Messenger video chat. You know, go and find how to Skype. It's not difficult. You use your initiative. If someone's worth it, you'll go and do it. If they're not worth it, you won't. It's as simple as that. There's no two ways about it. So this guy clearly is a bad person, and you know, like on here, up to no good. And like I was saying, this guy on asexuality, like this other person, so the first woman, she actually left the country, went over there. And this is via asexuality. She met this guy, remember him actually, he came in my thread and said, I found the love of my life, which was really quickly. You've got to be very, very skeptical of people who really push you to get into a relationship quickly, right? Obviously, some people are really romantic. They do have feelings. They do develop really quick. They can get, you know, like feelings very, very fast. I do that myself. So I'm not saying everyone who kind of feels so romantic they need that they need to be in a relationship is not, you know, like genuine. But if someone's pushing you into a relationship quickly and the things they say, it's like, oh, you're my world, when they haven't even barely spoke to you. You're my world, I want to be in a relationship with you. That's a very bad person. You don't get to be in a relationship. You don't be in a relationship with a person like that, right? They are literally scam artists, right? They are literally not likely to be asexual, and two, they are controlling, manipulative people, the ones that push you. You know, I've had someone come on there going, oh, well, why don't you want to be with me? And they've messaged me, hi, how are you? And I've said, fine, thanks. Do you know what I mean? That's the type of person I'm talking about. They're insane. And so, you know, so this person on asexual, so the woman moved over there and she had to move back because the guy wanted her to pay money and look after his kids. The bloke, on the other hand, via asexuality, he met this woman online, but he didn't actually leave his country, which was great, but he did go out on a holiday to meet up with her before he was thinking about actually going over there to live. And when he got there, she wanted money from him. So he was scammed, but not fully scammed because he didn't move, you see. You should not, just don't do it. Just don't up and leave without visiting a person in their country. You never know how you're going to feel about the person until you meet them in person. I'm telling you. You know, talking to someone online is very different to meeting them in person and living and breathing with them every single day. You know, in an ideal world, it'd be great if it was romantic, but I tell you what, the only way you can fully get romance in your life 24/7, 365 days a year is with yourself, because you are not going to hurt yourself, or you shouldn't do. You're not going to, be unsafe for yourself. Hi, Heather. I'm listening. It's so sad. Oh, thank you, Heather. Thank you for supporting me. I really appreciate it. You're very kind. I love having you here. It means a lot to me. You know, and it is sad. It's really sad, especially that woman who left her country. I mean, literally, she left her country for that bloke, you know? And I remember him coming on my thread, and he was like, he'd only just come on going, I've met someone. I think she'd known him 8 months before she actually moved. It wasn't like she knew him really quickly, and within like 2 months she moved out. I think she knew him online for 8 months beforehand. So, you know, she did take her time about it, you know, in terms of like, you know, it wasn't just a quick, oh, I've got to move over there now type of thing. And she moved all her stuff over for him and everything. It was horrible. And so, you know, I think it's important that I do share this stuff on my channel, you know, and tell you like it is. You know, I don't want to sit here sugarcoating things all the time when they can't be sugarcoated, you know. It gets to a point when you've got to really be honest. So you can tell this guy, you know, this John guy on ASAP, when he's saying attractive, maybe those people should have a support group. What, the people that go out to other countries, or the people that are mentally insane that are scammers in the first place? Because I think they need a heck of a lot of help, mental help. Do you know what I mean? But they're probably mostly narcissistic manipulators, abusers, to be quite honest. In which case they don't. But I'm guessing you mean that support the victims. Yeah, yes, but yes, Heather, if they've got a really supportive person who's leading that group, then it's fine. But I have known, I don't want to say too much, but I have known of a group where they have been victims of something, and the person who's leading the group has been a nasty piece of work. I can't reveal who they are. They've been nasty to me and privately, and they asked me to take over the group, and I wouldn't take it over a long time ago. And you know, they are no good for the victims. They're actually making the victims worse. And I was horrified, and I thought, I'm just not getting involved with this person or this group, you know, because he's just like, you know. And anyway, I can't say too much because the person's not been very good to me, and I, you know, I'm just leaving him alone. If he leaves me alone, I'm leaving him alone, you know. I just want him out of, you know, my life as much as possible. But you know, that's the only problem with a support group, is you end up getting people who are not really victims in it, but who are how can I put it, predators on victims, if you know what I mean. They are people who are in victim groups, when really they are the people that cause it, that causing the problems to the victims in the first place. So that is the only thing I would say about that. If it's an online group, obviously if it's an in-person support group, that's a bit better really. But you know, it's hard. I mean, we all make mistakes. I'm, you know, like I rush into relationships sometimes, as you know, but I'm not gonna up and leave my country for a guy. I would never do that. I don't care if I had 1 million foreign guys after me. There is no way, hope in hell, that I'm just upping and leaving my beautiful flat and where I live for any guy like that. If he wants me, he can come over to this country and have me and get a UK visa of his own accord. You know, I get guys all the time, you know, you got to be very careful of guys, you know, foreign guys. I love foreign guys to bits, as you know. I believe I've got an Indian soulmate somewhere. That's the truth. But it doesn't mean to say all foreign guys are good. There are a lot of foreign guys who do want to marry for a visa. That's another scam that goes on. It's not just me they do this to, but obviously because I like foreign guys, they do it a lot to me. But a lot of the time nowadays, I just promptly say in the beginning, I'm not interested in marriage. And a lot of the guys, they'll go, why not? I'm like, why would I? And it's like, I'm not interested. Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, like I've had it the other day about, oh, well, you know, it's a nice country, the UK. I'm like, yeah, I know it's a nice country, you know. I had this person actually on Facebook connect with me, asexual guy, a young asexual guy, foreign, and he posted in my asexual dating group. But when we were talking, he was like, in private message, like I did think he was cute looking. He said, I think you're cute. But when the conversation was going, I think he's genuinely asexual. I don't dispute that, but it's just like I could tell the way the conversation was going that the only way he could get into the UK would be to marry someone like me. And as soon as I said, he suggested that, and I said, I'm not interested in marriage. He goes, oh, I was actually saying to not get married. But if you read the message, that's not what he says. He says the other option is, of course, marrying someone like yourself, but I'm not sure I'd want to do that because I'm not sure I'd want to rush into something like that. And then I turned around and said, well, I'm not interested in marriage anyway. And he said, well, we can still be friends, and hasn't spoke to me since, even though he's friends with me on Facebook. Like, if he really wanted to be my friend and wasn't just thinking of that in terms of using me for marriage, he would still be talking to me now, wouldn't he? Do you know what I'm saying? So I think he's genuinely asexual. I think he's probably a nice guy. Indecisive. Well, no, he's not. He's not indecisive. At the end of the day, because I wouldn't agree to the marriage thing, and I told him it's going to be completely off, he's gone looking for someone else now, obviously, because he's told me he's looked into great detail about coming to the UK or the USA. So he knows all the ins and outs, and he's come to the conclusion, which I already know, that there's only certain ways you can get into the UK, for example. The way to get into the UK, if you're a foreigner, is to get a student visa. He's told me he doesn't want to get a student visa because he's already done 2 degrees. So that's not an option for him, right? The other way of getting into the UK is to get a sponsorship job. There are tons of them on the HMRC website, UK. Most foreign guys can't be bothered to read through the 3,000 sponsorship page, the pages with 3,000 sponsorship jobs on them. And when you do look through them, the majority are for doctors, or people who can do programming of computers, really high up IT experts. Some are marketing, but they have to have usually a good qualification from their own country, a lot of knowledge already to come over to UK. So that's so you've got the student way, the sponsorship way, or if your own company could sponsor you to come over. But if they sponsor you to come over, a lot of the time they want you to go back to your own country. The only way you can currently stay in the UK permanently is if you've been in the country 5 years or more and you apply to have a permanent visa, to citizenship, basically, visa over here. That's the only way you can get in here and stay, unless you've got marriage, which is why so it's not that he was indecisive, it's the fact that I said no to marriage when he brought it up as the other option. And I said no. And then he's like, oh, well, we can still be friends. And I'm like, yeah, sure, maybe we can Skype one time as friends or something, or if you ever visit, and then he's not talked to me since. And why is that? If he really wanted to be friends with me, he'd still be talking to me, wouldn't he? It's because he was hoping that maybe I'd be one of his last choices about, having marriage, and not interested in that. I'm not interested in a guy marrying me just for a visa. It's ridiculous. I like younger guys because I have more in common with them. I'm more aesthetically attracted to them. And I just, I'm really young myself. I can't be doing with an older guy. But I don't want to mummy him. I don't want to look after him in terms of cooking and cleaning and all that type of thing. Emotionally, I'll look after him. Romantically, I'll look after him. Kissing wise, I'll look after him. Not sex, though. But, I'm not going to look after him in terms of cooking and clean housework. He can do that for himself. I'm not being used, and I'm not interested in doing that. And I want to live separately, So the fact of the matter is, there are lots of people that want to get into the UK, and they will try and say they want to get married. And to people who are asexual who actually do want to get married, that would interest them, because they'd be like, oh, I want to get married too. Not thinking that, yes, this person probably doesn't love you. They're just using you for a visa because it's one of the few ways they can get and stay in this country. And usually after the 5 years, they will divorce you because they just wanted the visa in the first place, the UK citizenship, and they can't get it till after 5 years. My cousin used to work in a hotel as a manager, and she used to get loads of foreign guys who would marry older women just for a visa. And then after the 5 years was up, she told me they got divorced from these women because they didn't love them. It was just to get permanent residency in the UK because they were working, had a job by then, and they've been in the country 5 years, and that's how they do it. I won't take part in that. I'm not interested in marriage anyway. I don't like to be tied down in that respect. I don't like the whole housewife thing either, the stereotypical housewife. And I think, once you're married, that's it, you're stuck with a person. If they turn out to be nasty to you, manipulate you, or turn out to be someone that you'll just end up being not compatible for because you've grown apart, you can't have things relatable to each other anymore, you're living completely different lives, You're going to have to pay divorce fees. You're going to have to move out if you're living with them. You're going to have to like go through all the heartache and pain of solicitors' fees, dragging it out for years of divorce. I mean, who wants to go through that? You know? I mean, I'd like to say in an ideal world that you'd be with that person forever. And romantically, I used to really, in the past, like marriage, the idea, but I don't even like wearing jewelry very often, like rings. Like, I don't like having a ring on me because I feel chained down if I have a ring on me all the time. I don't like it. It doesn't feel good to me. And if I've got that mentality already, then, it's obvious. Like, I like the romantic notion of it sometimes. Sometimes I think, oh, I love the guy so much. Maybe I could do that. And, but in reality, I couldn't. I don't want to stand there like, because I don't, I guess, ever trust someone 100%. Even if I do, it's kind of like you don't know if they're going to change. They might be fine as they are, but you don't know what's going to happen in the future. They could change. They could just really, really change. You would be surprised how many people seem to know what they want, and then all of a sudden something happens in their brain, and they're like, "Oh, I'm doing this now, I'll do that now." And they're like, well, where do I fit into your future then? And it's like, oh, I didn't really think of that. I'm too busy thinking about all this other stuff. And it's like, and at the moment, I'm quite happy being single anyway, because I've got, I can go where I want, when I want, do what I want. And I really love myself at the moment. I have to say, I so love myself. And I'm really happy to be single right now. I'm really, really enjoying my life. I've got back into writing, as you know. I just like, I'm doing stuff every day now. I'm working towards my goals, ambitions, and dreams. I've been busy doing new stuff today that, like I had the idea for a while ago and I didn't know how I was going to do something. And now all of a sudden today it just came to me just like that. And so instead of doing what I was going to do today, because I need to talk to someone really and they're not available to Sunday anyway, I thought, great, put that on to Sunday and do this thing now. And the thing that I'm doing is I'm just doing it really well because I'm flowing and I'm just really in my element and energy, and that's what you got to do. You've got to realize that if these people online are trying to scam you or trying to put you in situations that's to their advantage, they're not being genuine and honest, really. You've just got to know that it's not your fault. Don't blame yourself for this, because some people could blame themselves for it. And I would hate that, you've got people who are scamming you, trying to scam you, wherever they do it, don't blame yourself, just recognize the patterns, So this is this guy. And then yesterday, right, there was another guy on ASAP, and I thought, I bet you're not genuine either, right? So I said to him, interesting job combination. He's supposed to be a pilot, a USA pilot in the UK. I mean, that just sounds weird for a start. The picture's very like, how can I put it, out of a magazine. And I just thought, I don't think you're a genuine guy. And he's like, oh, I have gold as well. Like he buys and sells gold or something. I don't know what it is. What is it? And I'm really skeptical. I thought, I don't think this is, they said like from USA, based in London, British pilot and gold seller too. Right? And it's like, really? So either he's not real and he's biromantic, right? But I think he's either it's a fake profile or some of the details aren't genuine, or the profile's done in a very staged way to persuade you to take certain actions, like gold seller. Like they would probably attract someone who wants to have wealth because he's put gold seller in there, right? You know what I mean? So it's like people are attracted by gold, and it's kind of like it could be a trap. Do you know what I mean? It could be genuine also, but I mean the picture is very fake. So I thought, are you genuine or are you not? You might be, you might not. So I put interesting job combination, and then instead of them talking to me, straight into, can we talk on WhatsApp? Please give me your WhatsApp number, okay, so we can talk better there, okay? Do you see what I mean? This is what scammers try to do. They try to get you off that app or off the dating sites as quickly as possible so they can start video chatting with you, chatting you up, manipulating you, I mean, there's no problem with you going off this app or dating site to talk to them by other social media. But whenever someone asks me for WhatsApp number, it usually means that person's a sexual person. They're not really asexual, because why do they need to talk in WhatsApp? And they haven't even answered, as soon as I say interesting job conversation and start a conversation, they're not interested. All they want to do is push me onto WhatsApp. That's not good. Like, I do like connecting with people on Facebook, off apps and dating sites, because I like to know that the person's genuine. And when you go on Facebook, you can actually fully check out their profile. You can see their profile pictures. You can see when they actually created their profile on Facebook. You can see a history. So you can see whether they're a legitimate person more or not. If that person's created their profile like 2 days ago, they got no previous photographs on there, they got no family or friends, it's likely it's a fake Facebook account, right? So you've got to look out for these things. I don't want you to get hurt. So this person will just want to want to engage in conversation, again, take you straight off the app. And so this is what these people do. They used to be quite a lot on asexualitic. That literally used to they used to just message you, I need help, please, can you help me? I really need to talk to you about something important. This is my email address. It's like, well, no, why can't you talk to me if it's important in the app? Why do you need my email address straight away like that? And they will, some people will just blatantly ask you for money, and they will say, oh, I've had someone message me who was supposed to be asexual on Facebook in my groups. I just got rid of them out of my groups, blocked them on Facebook, and they start sending me these emails saying, oh, I was abused really badly, and all this all this stuff happened to me, and it was a white person who did it, and you owe me money because you're a white person, and you need to help me fix this. And it's like, what? Excuse me? One, I don't like racism, and two, it's like, I don't owe anyone any money. Your problems are not my problems, and I don't even know if what happened you said happened to you did. But at the end of the day, why pluck me out the whole world and decide that I'm responsible for your life? I'm not. You're responsible for your own life, good or bad. And so I'm not playing down abuse or anything. I think abuse is totally bad, bang out of order, and disgusting. But, like the abuse I've had, I wouldn't go up to someone and say, hey, I've had a really bad abusive relationship in the past. You owe me money for it, because it was like a British guy, and so you're a British person, or it was a foreign guy and you're a foreign guy. You know what I mean? I wouldn't dream of doing stuff like that. It's got nothing to do with another person, what happened in my life. Well, I'm responsible for my life. I chose to be in this world. Well, I was made, and then I was in this world. I chose to be where I was at the time. I chose this life, This is it. So, do you know what I mean? Just be very, very careful. I had someone in one of my groups as well, and they just blatantly asked me for money, saying, I want some money. And they started being nasty to me about me, just so I would give them some money to try and make me feel bad. Don't do this. And there's a lot of people that would try and get into online relationships for bad reasons. But obviously, as an asexual, it's quite common to get into online relationships, right? Because it's unlikely you're going to meet a person in person like for a long time. If you're asexual, that happens to be the right person to get into a relationship with. But I recommend meeting the person in person before you get into a relationship with them. I don't recommend just getting into a relationship with anyone like that. I mean, there are people I know, 2 of my friends that have worked out. They're in relationships that are at the moment online. They haven't met the person in person, right? So there are people that it does work out with, but in general, I would say don't do that. You can never tell if you're really going to get on with the person unless they are, you've known them for a very long time, and they're gonna, be there in person with you, meet you in person. There has to be a point in any relationship where one person goes to meet the other, even if it's for a vacation. There has to be, And so just be very, very careful of, people that are basically trying to get you off these apps onto other things, It's just like, it's not what you want to be doing. I mean, there are lovely people on this app as well, don't get me wrong. They're not all horrible like this. At the moment, I'm talking to a really, really nice Indian guy who just is my friend, and he'll probably always be just my friend. He's in India. He's, I think, looking to get married in the future. I don't even think he's like super kissy like I am. And, he's stuck in India anyway. And, but it's nice just to talk to him. He's a really, really lovely person. And there was another Indian guy that started talking to me yesterday, and he's very, very beautiful, but he's bisexual, actually, not asexual, but he's on the asexual app. So again, you know, like you got to be careful, because some people that are on the app and dating sites are not actually asexual, which is fine if they're upfront and honest about it, but when they're not, it's a bit of a nightmare. But this particular guy, he said, oh, who's bisexual, he said, oh, I want someone who will accept my sexuality. And of course he's on an asexual app, so you would have thought that would mean asexual wise, but I'm thinking no, because if it's an asexual app, then people who are asexual would be on there and they would accept his orientation and sexual orientation, sexuality as it was. So I thought he can't be asexual then, really, can he? So when I spoke to him, basically from what I can gather, he's a biromantic, in terms of he gets romantically attracted to women but not sexually, but he's heterosexual. So I think he's a heterosexual biromantic person, because I think, as far as but I said to him he's heterosexual, you know, but he goes, oh, I don't want to have sex with women. So I guess the proper term would be heterosexual biromantic, I'm guessing. But I said, we're all heterosexual, so I couldn't be with you. But, you know, because, you know, like I would need a guy who is monogamous, you know, not polyamorous, you know, so I wouldn't be able to be with a guy who's having sex with a guy. Do you know what I mean? And I like kissing. That wouldn't be acceptable to me. I'm monogamous, not polyamorous. So, you know, it's really important that you know, actually ask what their sexual orientation is, you know, like on places like ASAP, to quite a lot of the people, you know, because a lot of them on there more and more seem to not be asexual, but there are some really good genuine ones, like the other Indian guy I'm talking about, I've been talking to for a while. He's really, really lovely person, you know, and he's really, really kind guy, you know. But I did meet someone on ASAP that I was talking to for quite a long time, and then he started getting weird about asexuality, going, oh, I think all asexuals want sex, though, don't they? I don't know any guy who doesn't actually want sex at some point. And I was thinking, well, it's an asexual dating app. I thought you're asexual. The majority of asexuals don't want sex, even though some might be okay with having it. The majority don't want it, and a lot of them don't have it. So where on earth do you get this from, that everyone has to have it? I mean, that's a sexual mindset. That's a heterosexual mindset, not an asexual mindset. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, like, there's a lot of asexuals that don't have sex, that are sex repulsed. Not everyone, but there are a lot, do you know what I mean? And that don't want it. So that was quite shocking. We haven't really spoke much since. So, you know, just be careful, because even someone you think you know for a long, long period of time, for a few months or whatever, might turn out that they're not actually asexual. So, you know, it's best to clear these things up as soon as you can. And, you know, I mean, you might still be able to be in a relationship with someone that's not asexual, which is fine. Just, you need them to be honest about it, because if they're not honest about things from the beginning, then how does that bode well if you got into a relationship with them? It doesn't. So please stay safe, people. You know, if anyone tries to get you off an app, and if anyone starts messaging you going, oh, I've been left some money in my will, you know, like, or in a will, or I'm leaving some money in my will and I've got no one there and to give it to, I want to give it to you, and give me your bank details, again, don't do it. There's a lot of scams where people go, I'm dying of cancer, I need someone to leave my money to. I want to leave it to you because you seem like a genuine, kind, caring person. Let me give you the details, you know. It's like they're just scamming you. They're trying to get your bank details to put that money in, but really they're just trying to get your bank details so they can take money out of your account. Or they can do money laundering. Right? One of my friends who's not asexual, she was on a dating site and this guy's trying to put money in her account for her to keep it, because it's dirty money. You know, it's money laundering. If you don't know what money laundering is, then go and Google money laundering and you'll know. So sometimes they do actually deposit money in your account, but it's like dirty money. It's like they've got it from an illegal or illegitimate way, from an illegal or illegitimate source or way, and they want to put the money in your account so they don't have no responsibility for it, so they can't get in trouble with the law, right? So you're like hiding that or keeping the money for them. So don't get involved in that either, right? Just don't, okay? You know, don't let anyone put money in your account who you don't know. It's really bad. And don't give your account details out. You know, I was shocked because I've got a friend, blogging friend, who I've been friends with for over 7 years, right? She's not asexual. I've even got one of her books she sent me. And recently she started saying a few months ago that she was going to come to the UK. And I kept saying, oh, when are you coming? And I thought, it's a bit suspicious. Like, you say you come in, then it's like you're not really doing anything to come over, because she was like, oh, I want to see you. And then in the very end, she started saying, oh, I need your bank account details to secure my visa going over there. And I'm like, no, I don't give my bank account details. I need your bank statement. So I'm like, no, I don't do that. And she's blocked me now. And this is an older person who I respected and thought she genuinely liked me. And obviously she was just using me to get over to the UK. I think that's disgusting. I really, really do. But if that's the way they want to be, fine. But this person I've known for years on blogging, over 7 years I've known this person. Yeah. And I was just shocked. They seem to have blocked me. But if that's what they want to do with their life, that's fine. I'm not going to give my bank details over to anyone online. Anyone. I don't care how long I've known them. They're not having my bank details. They're my bank details, no one else's. They're not having my account number. They're not having my bank details. And they're certainly not having my bank statements. Like, I wouldn't even ask someone that. It's so rude. How rude. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, just beware of scams. Just beware of people that aren't genuine. Be aware that other people have intentions for you that are not your own. Just be very, very careful and love yourself enough to say no to someone. You don't owe someone anything. And I do not owe someone, even I've known for blogging for over 7 years, I don't owe someone my bank statements. If anyone's asking you for anything to do with money online, bank statements, account details, putting money in, taking money out, don't do it. Anyone you don't know, or even if it's someone like that for a very long time, unless they're your family, then who really well, you're not scam artists in themselves, because not all families are very legitimate, like in their intentions. Sadly, not all families are honest. Then don't do it. Just don't do it. You would have thought, like, because I've known that person over 7 years, you would have thought they would be trustworthy, but of course they're not if they go around asking my bank account statements. I mean, why on earth would I hand them over online? Talk about fraud. Do you know what I mean? I've never actually seen this person on video camera, but I've seen photographs of them. They sent me a copy of their book when it came out. So it's a shame they've done that, but I couldn't find it. It looks like they've blocked me. I tried to find it online on Facebook. They were friends with me on Facebook. Well, when I typed them in, they seem to have disappeared. Well, blocked me, because I can't see them anymore. And they're not on my friends list anymore. So there you go. They've gone. But if that's the way they want to be, I'm just checking now again, in case they've come back. But no. Gone. Gone. Well, that's the way they want to be. Then that's the way they want to be, So that's it, So just stick to yourself, love yourself, be at one with who you are, know that you can get through anything in life while life throws at you. Don't go around giving your bank details to someone. Don't go around, accepting video chats from people who clearly want cam sex, like this woman. There was this woman I told you about, They started going, hey, I told you they look like they've got a sexual pose on ASAP. They said, hey, and I put, hope you find someone, because I'm not interested in women like you. I'm looking for a guy only, right? If they're respectful, they'd accept that. But it's like, okay. And it's like, do you have Hangout app, babe? So they can start video chatting with me for blooming video sex, That's, again, another scam. Why would I want a video chat with a woman? I'm not interested in women. How many times I have to say it? I'm not interested in video camming, cam chatting, cam sex with a woman. I'm asexual, not a lesbian. Do you know what I mean? I've no problem with lesbian, but I ain't one. So anyway, just be very, very careful. I'm sure that a lot of guys who are asexual probably get these cam girls as well after them, So just be very, very careful. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you for now. Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful, helpful, insightful in some way. I hope I answered your question. If you've got any more questions about scams or any kind of like situations you're not sure about and you want to write them down in the comments below and I can give you my advice, then please do so. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great subscribe button down below. Please hit that bell icon to get notified every time I go live like now, I'll post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as we go along. Share it if you think someone's going to benefit from this video. You know, if you're worried about a friend that might be being scammed, please share this with them. Get them to message me if they need to in the comments below or whatever, you know. And please, please, please do stay safe. Peace out. Safe online, you know. Please be so careful. Look after yourself. You are the most amazing person in this world and you need to take care of you and love yourself because it's so wonderful. Till next time, embrace your quirky and each other's, and I will see you on the next video live stream. Take care. Love you lots. Bye.